Hey y'all, I just want to talk to you a second about conversions and just how important they are to be able to calculate dosage calculations. These four, if you can learn these four, you can figure the rest out. You see you got 5, 15, 30, and 240. A teaspoon is 5, a tablespoon's 15, an ounce is 30 milliliters, and a cup is 240 milliliters. And you got to commit that to your long-term memory. And the only way I know to do that is to put it on cards like this and flash yourself. Or you can play the little married game we talked about, and if you get it wrong, you know, they lose an article of clothing. But anyway, 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters. A tablespoon, I mean, you know, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Is 15. 1 ounce is, if I can flip it, 30 milliliters. So look, how many tablespoons would it take to make 30 milliliters? If 15, it would take 2 of them. You see that? I know it's kind of janky, but I told you don't expect perfection. And 1 cup is 240 milliliters. If they ask you how many ounces is in a cup, and you know, 1 ounce is 30, you can divide 240 divided by 30 and tell them there's 8 ounces in it. Tell Ethel. And for the other stuff, I don't know if y'all have ever seen this. You probably have. But you see 2 cups makes 1 pint. And so if you know 240 is in 1 cup, and then so times 2, a pint is 480. Some people think it's 500, and that's not true. It's 480. So 2 pints make a quart. You see, you could do that times 2. Look how much is in a quart. 960. So I just want you to see how you could, if you put it on cards and flash yourself until you know them, you're going to be happy when you get to PEDS. So I have these practice problems, and you know that this iPad has digital gonorrhea, so it don't work right, but we're going to do it anyway. So look, 45 milliliters is how many ounces? I know the answer's there, but if you don't know how to get it, you know, it don't help you. We know 1 ounce is 30 milliliters. So if we divide 45 divided by 30, it tells us it's 1.5. You see that? I believe you do. If you have 5 teaspoons, how many milliliters is that? Well, you know 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters. So we would do 5 teaspoons times 5 milliliters, and that would be 25. Well, if I hadn't have done it. Okay, 4 tablespoons is how many milliliters? You remember how many's in a tablespoon? Dun, 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 dun. 15 milliliters. And so if we have 4 teaspoons, we can do 4 times 15 and know that there's 60 milliliters. This is 3.5 ounces is how many milliliters. If you know 1 ounce is 30 milliliters, then we can do, you know, 1/2 is 0.5. 30 times 3.5 equals, it would be 105 milliliters. You get that? And as far as moving the decimal on the metric system, some people do multiply or divide by 1,000. My brain does not function like that, and the potential for me to jack it up would be high. So I do this. You got kilograms, grams, milligrams, and micrograms. I know this, it seems kind of elementary, but if you don't understand this part, you're crippling yourself. And a decimal will kill somebody. Look, 25 versus 2.5, that's a heck of a difference. So if we're going, it's got 100 micrograms and they want milligrams. If you'll write this on your paper, it'll tell you which direction to move your decimal. Micrograms to milligrams, we're going that way. You have to know we're moving it 3 places. So 100 micrograms, the decimal's understood to be at the end of the whole number. So I'm going to grab it and go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put my decimal because I'm subject to forget it. If there's not a whole number in front of the decimal, you have to put a 0 or they're going to mark it wrong. I mean, you could have some nasty nurse you work with come around and put a 2 there, and then that, you know, then we'd have to be meeting her in the parking lot, and I don't have bail money. So 0.1 milligrams would be the answer. Okay, 300 milligrams. I'm going to do it right here. 300 milligrams is how many grams? This tells me I got to move that decimal point to the left. That's 300. No, that's 1,000. 1, 2, 3. Oh, how many? 1. Okay. 1, 2. 30,000 milligrams. And so for that, I got an eye condition. So sometimes it's, oh Lord, hard to make sure I count all the zeros. But milligrams, we're going milligrams to grams. We've got to move it to the left. And it's understood to be at the end of this number. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And so 30,000 milligrams would equal 30 grams. You see that? I believe you do. Lord, let him see it. He gonna help y'all. And then, so this one is 0.3 milligrams, and they want us to do micrograms. So we got to go, we're moving it to the right. 3 places. So I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna grab it, 1, 2, 3, and I'm adding my zeros. So it would be 300 micrograms. You see? I believe you do see. 600 milligrams. And they want to know how many grams. So come up here to your little hickey-doo. Milligrams to grams means we got to move the decimal that way. And the decimal's understood to be at the end of this whole number. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, put your decimal. There's not a whole number in front of it, so we have to put a 0, or they're going to mark it wrong. And so the answer is 0.6 grams. You see that? You like it? All right. All right, 300 milligrams to micrograms to milligrams. Micrograms to milligrams. We've got to move the decimal to the left. So we're going to put 300 micrograms. I'm going to grab that decimal and go 1, 2, 3, and put that right there. Put a 0, and the answer will be 0.3 milligrams. And then we have 200 milliliters. Now, liters and milliliters is cousin. If you had liters and milliliters, this will tell you which way you got to move your decimal. So 200 milliliters, and they want to know liters. We got to move it to the left. So I'm going to grab it right here because it's at the end of that whole number. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Put that decimal and a 0. So Ethel, you know how she is. I'm going to shut up. 0.2 liters. Look, we saved another one. Look here. You have 30 milliliters. How many tablespoons is that? You remember how many milliliters in a tablespoon? You see how you need to know how many milliliters is in a tablespoon? It's 15 milliliters. And so we can take 30 divided by 15 and see that there's 2 tablespoons in it. If I said teaspoons, forgive me. Sometimes I misspeak. 3 teaspoons is how many ounces? You remember how many milliliters is in a teaspoon? Because look, these are the numbers you have to choose from: 5, 15, and 30. So a teaspoon gonna be the littlest one, and a teaspoon will be 5 milliliters. We have 3 teaspoons. 3 times 5 equals 15 milliliters, but they want to know how many ounces that is. So we will do 30 divided by 15 equals, no, we won't. We'll do 15 divided by 30 equals 0.5. You get that? Help them, Lord. Don't let me jack them up. Okay, and then look, 2.5 liters. Oh, this sucker, look, he's having a seizure. Y'all, pray I get a new iPad. Doesn't have digital gonorrhea. Anyway, 2.5 liters. Father God, look at it. Let's hurry before he croaks. 2.5 liters is how many milliliters? If we're going liters to milliliters, we've got to move the decimal to the right. So 2.5, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Add them zeros. And be 2,500 milliliters. Let's do this one. 6 tablespoons. You remember how many milliliters in a tablespoon? Look, out of these, which one would you pick? 15. And you have 6 tablespoons. So we're going to have to multiply 6 times 15. And it's going to be 90 milliliters. But of course, Ethel wants to know how many ounces that is. You remember how many ounces is, how many milliliters is in an ounce? You got to be able to work back and forth with it. 30. So if we do 90 divided by 30, we know, I don't know what that is, that it's 3 ounces. That's the wrong answer. All right. Apparently, I was stuttering. I don't know. But look, here it is. Fluid ounces, ounce, whatever. Look, it's 3. I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. I hope that helped. I hope I didn't jack you up. Okay. You got to know these, especially when it comes to doing I and O. I didn't put those on there, so I'll be doing another video. Okay. Y'all have a good day.